Hey guys, so the video got cut. This is gonna be part two of yesterday's makeup look. So it just cut off with me applying this foundation, and if you guys can see, this foundation is absolutely gorgeous. So I fully applied it, and I'm just buffing it in just because we don't have to do all of this, but I'm doing it just because. I don't know why, but just because. I'm totally stuffed, guys. I just ate like half a bag of Famous Amos cookies, and this thing is so filling. Like, it is ridiculous. So, you want to bring it down your neck as well. Your foundation, um, just to give you that even out complexion. I just don't bring down both foundations down my neck. I'm heading off the axis. I don't use oil blotters. I don't use oil blotters, so I just use tissue and it gets off a lot. If I was to use oil blotters, I would have to use a lot of them. I haven't brought you guys a makeup editorial in forever. I know, shame on me. Guys, don't beat me over the head, please. So now I'm gonna go into highlighting, which this is one of my favorite parts. This is the transformation where it starts. And it's once you start highlighting. For me, the transformation starts once I put on this foundation because it is so gorgeous. And once I apply it, it's just like, oh my goodness. I mean, look at it. If I just decided to apply my highlight alone and my foundation, this is so sexy, so gorgeous, and it looks so good that I could totally do that and get away with it. So I'm gonna be setting my highlight with my Maybelline 210 Fit Me, which is a really light color. Um, it's really light color, and it looks really good. However, it's looking darker because I used to use this brush for everything on my face because this brush is everything. I want to stick to how I did it yesterday, so I just set my highlight like this. It's a little different from how I did it yesterday. Yesterday I set my highlight with white, so I had more of a highlighted area, and it was like wow, boom. So just to make sure you blend out the edges. You just want to make sure you definitely blend out the edges. So I think I have like a brush strand on my face. Surely enough, I do. Yep, I had a brush strand on my face. I was feeling it. So my highlight is good to go. And yeah, guys. I don't use the puff that comes in it, but I don't throw it out because I never know. Um, Now let's move on to contouring. So yesterday, now I'm gonna grab my BH Cosmetics 6 contour palette and blush set, and this is in B BHB6. This is the one with the darker bronzer, the darker brown color. It's two of them, and it has, I believe, a lighter shade here. This is the one with the darker brown color in it. So what I do is I grab this white color. I have this white color. Oh, Lord. My brush broke, guys, and it still works perfect. I showed you guys that in a couple videos back. I bought new brush, but I have not throwing out this brush, I'm just gonna crazy glue it because when I first started my makeup, back up again, it was a lot of diversity. A lot of people were against it, you know. People do it, but because I bring my makeup to different levels, I will actually buy the the paint that people put on their face and like to make like animalistic looking characters, and it's like a fake skin. I will buy all of that and do it. And people like, you know, they follow me when it comes to doing the makeup, which is hard. Makeup, doing regular makeup is hard. But if you are really into makeup, you're willing to push it yourself to another level, which means, you know, coming out of your comfort zone. Sorry guys, I'm grabbing my illuminator so that I can see how I'm contouring, even though I can see through the mirror. This is my MAC paint pot in A4, quite natural. This is the Prolong paint pot from MAC. This is so gorgeous and so cute and so nice for travel. I think the case is so sexy. So I'm using this to contour. I think this case. So what I do is half a moon, straight down, straight down, slant, slant, contour the nose, straight down, straight down. I used to curve it underneath, like underneath here. I used to curve it, but I don't do that anymore. I started back wearing makeup after being engaged for 2 years and 4 months. My fiance had made me feel so bad. And if you guys realize, I took down all the videos where he was in it or his audio was in the back. I took it down. He made me feel so bad. He used to tell me I was fat and he could get other women that look better than me. And I just want to get rid of every trace of him. Straight down your neck, you guys see this? Straight down my neck on either side of my chin. I don't have an Adam's apple. I'm not lucky enough to. But if you have an Adam's apple, I think that's cute. So, women out there with Adam's apple who's like, I think it's cute. Um, so now I grab my e.l.f. powder brush. That was my. They discontinued these brushes. I don't like so fast. This is the Sephora Contouring Precision 132 brush. I went to order another one, but when you look for this brush, you don't see any more. I fell in love with this brush. Do you guys see the chivel in this brush? Do you guys see this shape? It is so gorgeous. Look at this shape. It allows you to contour every part of your face and the bristles. Look at this, guys. Look at the bristles. It's amazing. I tried it to apply foundation. It was really good. However, I've never been able to stray away from this e.l.f. brush. This e.l.f. Total Face Brush. I've never, ever found another brush so far that I would leave this e.l.f. brush for because it is gorgeous, guys. This brush does everything. Like, I can literally do my whole face. I could have contoured just using one corner of this brush because the shape is so unique. This shape is like a oval shape that gets a bigger oval as it goes out, if that makes sense. So I wanna so you blend out your contour till it's visible but not like harshly visible. So I blended out my contour. As you guys can see, my face is more chiseled now. It looks totally different. This is like completely totally different in a couple of seconds. Um, I'm setting it with my BH Cosmetics palette. This is another love of mine. This is one of my favorites. You guys are like, you want to know what's my favorite? favorite makeup items, so you guys can purchase them. My BH Cosmetics palette is definitely one of my favorite items. I use it daily, and I do my makeup daily, even if it's to go to work. And I am a custodian, so that should let you know just how much. So you want to set any liquid makeup that you put on with, because that is a cream product. You want to set any liquid makeup you apply with a powder makeup, because that will keep it into place. That'll keep it into place and let it not melt off if it gets too hot or something like that. Even if you wipe your face, it's set in stone. Once you use a powder and set that liquid, you are good to go. You guys, I've been feeling so much more confident since I had my surgery, and my keloids are a lot smaller. Um, I love that doctor in a non-perverted, friendly, um, most humblest manner. I love my plastic surgeon. What he's done for me, giving me back confidence that has been taken from me for the last 10 years. Growing these keloids, I cannot say enough. Um, the size he's brought them down to is 1.5 by 5 by point 0.5. That is amazing. I never even had keloids grow back in the front of my ears, and I had a grapefruit on the front of my, a fake size on the front and the back. It was measuring like at least 6 by 6, so on each front and back, and he's brought it down to 1.5 by zero point 0.5. I can never be gracious enough. I'm so grateful. Um, like, thank you so much, Dr. Otterburn. You are amazing. And this is all stuff I had my keloids on my ears when I was engaged. And he used to say, and he could find a woman that doesn't have any deformation and stuff like that. He was just really, really mean and really, really cruel. And I am recovering. It's only been a year. If you guys want to see, we went to court, and he was still being really mean with his words and really cruel with his words. You guys can watch. I was on the TV court because in the end he stole from me, because he was like, nobody's not gonna believe you. Um, I can do whatever I want to do to you. You just pretty and good for nothing. All you here for is to cook my food and stuff like that. He would say just mean stuff to me. And he would say it to his friends in French. They would say to him, "Oh man, you're so lucky to have a pretty woman like her. And then for her to marry you, and you don't have the most money or the most anything, and she's gonna marry you." And he would tell them like, "Oh, she's lucky. She's nothing. She's lucky to have me." I told you guys I speak multiple languages. What I just used was my Lorac Pro Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. So let's get into this makeup look, guys. I'm grabbing my Sedona lace, and this is the 168-1. I'm going to show you guys the colors because they have different colors, but this is one of the brighter palettes. So once you guys see the colors, this is what I did. It doesn't have like a certain name until you go to the website, but the other colors aren't like this. This is two bright palettes. So if you see, the colors are really, really bright. They have brighter colors, but I was like, oh, that's too bright for me. This is really bright for me as it is. So let's get started into this makeup look. I don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna pull this palette out, and you guys can see this is the only one I opened up. I didn't open up the other one. As you guys can see, it has two bright palettes, and this is the colors. I loved all these greens, so I was like, oh. Oh my gosh, these greens, blue, and neutral base colors just drive me nuts. I love, love, love these colors. So I had to, without a doubt, grab this palette up. So, guys, let's get started on the eyes. So I'm gonna brush and comb my eyebrows. Brush and comb them. Yeah, he was really, really mean. He was like, he can get another woman. He doesn't have to be with me. And then I'm like, so why are you with me? I'm not holding you to be here. And he's like, until he's ready to go, that's when he's gonna go. It was just like I was tormented because he would get up and leave the house and he wouldn't tell me he was leaving. And I would think he was in the living room and I would be in the bedroom because it got to the point where I used to just like hide in my house and be in another bedroom from him all the time or another room from him. If he came and sat on the couch, I would get up and go in my bedroom and go on the internet and that's or do homework. I had to focus on school. I didn't have time to focus on all the mean, evil things he wants to do or he wants to say. So this is shimmery, a shimmery white color. You guys can see this is a matte white, a shimmery white. This is a gray here, and then these are just grays going down. So I'm gonna use this shimmery white and highlight underneath my brow bone. This is the white I'm using right here. And I'm just gonna do 3 layers of that, guys. So when it comes to makeup, I am like the bomb because that's how I express myself. I think that I'm a bright, outgoing, futuristic person because I'm accepting of like new stuff. It's gonna be a lot of robots replacing people, and I'm so in for that. And what made it even worse is I had just lost my custody battle with my kids, so I didn't need anybody being emotionally abusive to me because I was already going through my downs. And I remember one time telling him, if you feel like you can replace me, is nobody gonna put up with your shit the way I did. You going out, clubbing, spending on your paycheck before the next week, nobody else is gonna put up with that shit. If you went out to eat with friends or coworkers or your boss and you want to make a good impression and you went to this high class restaurant, you couldn't afford it, but you went there and blew your paycheck, I could understand that. But for you to go clubbing, like go clubbing and be buying drinks after drinks after drinks after drinks when one cup of drink is like $10, $12, and you could buy a bottle when you get home and then still go home and buy a bottle. Nobody else is going to put up with that because they know that you can buy a bottle at the liquor store for $20, $25 and then expect the woman you're engaged to all of a sudden cook every day, and she has school plus work. Like, I went to school from 9 to 2 in the morning. Then I was also working. Like, I worked from 4, 4 to 1 in the morning. And sometimes have to come home. He didn't eat. He didn't feel well because he was drinking and he didn't eat. And have to go outside at that time of morning to go get something for him to eat because I don't feel like cooking. I'm too tired. I might fall asleep and leave the stove running. Have to take him to McDonald's or something, get tea. There's nobody else gonna put up with that crap, only me. Because at 40 years old, especially with such an age gap. No other 21-year-old is gonna meet a man that is 40 and put up with all that crap the way I did. Because at 40, you should have it together. And everybody was telling me, you should leave him, you should leave him. And I just felt bad, you know. I wanted him to go on his own. I wanted him to realize that we weren't compatible and just leave me on his own. I didn't want to leave him. I felt like at that point in his life, so many people had already left him from what he said to me. So I didn't want to leave him. I just wanted him to leave me on his own. That way I wouldn't have to feel bad. So I'm grabbing my NYX Stormy Skies Dreamcatcher palette, and I'm grabbing this brown, which matches my complexion, and I'm just bringing it under this white. I'm bringing it directly under this white. This is my transition color. I just apply, the white is my brow bone highlight, and this is my transition color. You know, he would come home crying, drunk, knocking on the door. I would have to hurry up and open the door at various times of night. You know, I live in an apartment building. You can't be disturbing the neighbors. And he didn't even care about that. Like, I could have gotten evicted if my neighbors, you know, like complained. You know, he didn't even care about that. Now I am blending it out. I don't really put anything in my crease, as I told you guys. I don't put anything in my crease because when you get older, a lot of people tend to have crease on their eyes and they don't like it. And I've been doing makeup for a while, and a lot of ladies told me, like, you know, even if you do makeup, don't do that, because I think that's what gave me the crease in my eyes. I used to wear makeup all the time, and I used to do, you know, a lot of creasing. So I see a lot of ladies on YouTube, and I'm not judging you. I'm just saying because I want you to be beautiful as well. You're already beautiful, but I don't want, you know, something that you can't reverse unless you stop doing it now to happen to you. So I put my transition color above my crease, and then I'm just gonna blend with a light hand, blend this into the white. So I've been doing makeup for over a decade now, for those of you who are interested. So as you can see, I have my transition color, and I have my brow bone highlight. And now let's get into it. We're gonna jump right into makeup look itself. The makeup look itself. So first things first, I grabbed this hot pink right here. I got this hot pink, and let's get my brush all nice. You guys see how good this color payoff is? It's amazing, and I just bring it to the inner corners of my eye from one swirl in this color. Look at this color. Look at this color, guys. Tell me this color is not everything. Tell me this color is not everything. So I do 3 layers of this. Tell me this color is not everything. If this is not what they described, I had bought some colors, and when you put it on, it's not as vibrant as it looks. So you're trying to put it on, and it's not that vibrant. And then it's just like, oh, if I want another low tone, you know, it's like a waste of money, makes you feel like a waste of money because you wanted a bright color, and then you buy it, and you want to avoid your eyelashes, and you just apply it with a soft, smooth hand. You shouldn't even feel like you're pressing on your eye. A lot of people do that too often. I see people like really. So now I'm gonna do it on the left hand side, like really, really, really pressing so hard on your eyelid. Your eyelid is a very delicate place. It's the shaft for your eyes. So like do all the makeup you want to do with your face and your eyes, but just be careful because I am very careful. Whether it looks like it or not, I am very, very careful when it comes to my eyes. I don't play. A lot of my family members wear glasses, and I don't want to add on to that. So be very careful. So I do 3 layers, but I also coat up. I coat up a lot so I can get the most vibrant see of the color. I remember having kids. Having kids changed my whole outlook on myself a lot. I did not feel beautiful after I had my son for a long time. And it wasn't post traumatic stress, it was just that when your body goes through a natural change like that and makes room for another person, and the person you made that child with is not treating you how they how you expect them to treat you, um, the way you expected them to behave, you end up doing more work and you thought they would help you out with this. So now I'm grabbing this burnt orange color right here, and I'm going to put it underneath my transition color. So I'm just swatching that up real quick, and that's how it looks on the brush. And I'm just putting it underneath my transition color, and it looks so, so good, guys. Like, so good. They're not behaving the way you thought they would behave. I mean, you just had a child for them. And one of the things that I found myself fighting with my fiance a lot was he wants to have a child with me. Like he thought that would fix our problems in our relationship, and our problems came from him just saying whatever he wanted to say whenever he felt like it, and me telling him, you know what, if I told you everything that was on my mind, you would not like that. I don't appreciate you being so outspoken with me because I'm not that outspoken with you. I don't believe that there's anything you have to say to me that you can't find a better way of saying it to me. You know, like I just don't believe that you have to be that outspoken. Anybody. It doesn't have to be a fiance. I just don't believe that anybody has to be that outspoken. You guys see this? I am barely touching my eye, and this color is so pigmented. And it makes me feel really sorry for married women, you know, because if a guy could be so mean with his words, imagine a married woman who's with that guy 24/7, 365, and he's just as mean as I'm describing. Like, you know, like for instance, I would clean the house constantly, and if something was on the floor and I happened to be tired and I walked past it expecting him to pick it up, you know, he would be like, well, you didn't see that. And mind you, at the time, his work had slowed down. And so now I'm just blending this in, guys, with this same burnt orange. I'm just blending it in really well, and it's right underneath my transition color. I pick up some of this color on the brush and blend it in. Right underneath that, my brown transition color. And I'm just blending it in really lightly. And if I, can you guys see that? So this is how that looks. This is my right hand side. This is my left hand side. And then when I started doing YouTube, it was like when I did makeup, like he didn't see it. And when I started doing YouTube, like when I'm on the camera right now, you can see every single thing I'm doing. You can see that my makeup is on fleek and all this stuff. And this was just him not giving me that attention, not giving me the time of day. I'm gonna grab this purple right here. on my brush. And that really made me realize, he was just not giving me the time of day. And that's why I wasn't seeing this stuff, because I see this stuff so perfect, so clear, like almost like I'm in the camera. And when I did my makeup, it's like I would do bright, vibrant colors like this, and he didn't see it. He didn't see it. He used to be like, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that color. It doesn't look good on you." Stuff like that. That's stuff that he used to say to me. Um, like it got to the point where he was like, he wants to dress me. How I'm dressing is not good. Then he started telling me if I have to dress so skimpy and skanky, and if I don't have nothing better. Then he started telling me he was gonna give me money to buy clothes, and he doesn't like what I'm wearing. I mean, he just drunk and became the most awful person ever. And like they say, when they drink, they are who they really are. So that was him just being who he was and being able to express it under the influence. And that was the monster that I was going to marry. So I felt so blessed and so lucky. So now I'm going on to the left side and I'm doing the same thing. I felt so blessed and so lucky that I didn't marry this monster, because I was walking down the aisle with this monster and I would have been married to this monster and unable to get away from this monster. And then he would have been entitled to half of everything I own. And within a couple months of us dating, his job slowed down. And when I say slowed down tremendously. He was home for 2 weeks at a time, no work. And I was like, okay, we're going to make it through this. This is the obstacle because, again, he was 40 and I met him when I was 21. I had told him that he was way too old for me. My family would not accept him, even though I live on my own and I'm a product of the foster care system. He still, I didn't want them to give us a hard time, but I knew there was no way they would have accepted him with this large age gap. And then I ended up telling him, I didn't feel like my heart was there, because it's like you enjoy having a young lady on your side instead of somebody in your age range, you know, who's going to pay attention to that. How hard is it for you to find a hot, sexy, steaming lady in your age range versus find a hot, sexy, steamy young lady that is younger than you? It's much easier. And he was just very, 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 very verbally abusive. So I'm gonna go back into that burnt orange. I cleaned off my brush, and I'm going back into that burnt orange, and I'm gonna transition. He was like really, really mean. Then all of a sudden, he didn't like the food anymore. He was like, "I don't like this food. Um, I don't want to eat it." That's when he started to talk back to his ex. And his ex never used to cook for him. She just used to take him out to eat all the time. So he started talking back to her, and I guess they were planning on getting back together. And where I finally just like totally shut him out, completely just stopped, even caring what he wanted, was when we went out to the club together, and he left me in the club, and he had taken my phone because I didn't have a purse on me. I just had some money tucked in my breast, my IDs and stuff like that. And he left me. He took my phone in his pocket and left me. Then he was calling me, and I wasn't answering my phone. We got to the club around 1 o'clock, And I didn't even want to go to the club. I had dressed all up and we went to an African wedding, and that was my first time ever being at a wedding. I've never been at a wedding in my life. Um, I've never seen the ceremony and all that good stuff in my life, so that was my first wedding, and it was a goal for me. And it was just so cool and so awesome. I saw them exchanging vows. Then I saw them doing the dances, cultural dances, not regular dance, but cultural to their culture in Africa, because there's so many different cultures. And I was so blown away. I had brought my camera with me and everything. And he left me. He just like he left me. We went, then after that he was like he doesn't want to stay. His friends was like they don't want to stay. They thought we were going to a club. And I told him we're not going to a club. We're going to take a taxi. He got paid that day. I had gotten paid early in the week. And we were supposed to go to this wedding. I had met this lady in the nail salon. We were talking, and she was like, I'm getting married Friday. You want to come? I was like, I've never been to a wedding. This is so amazing. And you guys know this is how women network. I never met this lady before. It was so cool. I'd never been to a wedding, so this was the first time I was going to a wedding. And he left me. So I'm taking this pink again, and I'm bringing it under my eye. He was like, he didn't want to stay. I was having such a good time because I've never been to a wedding before. And if that's gonna be your wife and you're getting engaged you're getting married to her, something she's never done, aren't you supposed to be a person that wants to bring her to do it for the first time? Well, they got bored, and whatever his friends wanted, it seemed to me like he would honor that more because his friends were younger than him, so he was more interested in being that cool 40-year-old instead of, just a plain 40-year-old. So he was like, let's go. And I was like, okay. I was telling him, like, you can go and leave me. He was like, I'm not going to leave you. You're my fiance. There's no way I'm going to leave you here. And for sure, I probably would have met somebody that very night who was willing to give me what I want in a relationship. I'm not looking for a hip, young 40-year-old. I'm looking for a 40-year-old grown man with responsibilities that doesn't blow his check on liquor all the time, liquor and weed. And when I met him, he told me he didn't smoke. And one day he came home smelling like marijuana, and I was like, um, you stink. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you was, but you stink. And you didn't tell me. I asked you if you smoke. You said no. Now you stinking like marijuana. I can't take you anywhere. First of all, right now where I live in Manhattan, there's always guard dogs in the train station, and they would pull him over. I mean, he was stinking like marijuana. He smelled like he was making the marijuana in a factory, like he was stinking so much of the marijuana. And how can you stink of something you don't use? Even if your friends is using something you don't use, you're not going to stay around that much that you stink of it. And he insisted on it wasn't him. It was his friends. It's not him. He quit. And so I said to him, you quit. You told me you never did it. How can you quit something you never do? And then it just was like lie after lie after lie after lie. And then he blamed me. He said that I made him feel like he couldn't be honest. I made you feel like I had certain expectations in the relationship that I expected you to uphold by. And if you couldn't uphold by those, you should have just told me plainly. That's what I made you feel like. I told you I don't want somebody that smokes. So you say I don't smoke. I want somebody that goes to church. You say you go to church. Every time I bring you to church, you're nagging me. Is it time to go yet? Are you falling asleep? Like you're a grown man. Why would you come to church to fall asleep? You behave as if you don't have a bed that you sleep in at nighttime. And people was basically, catching up on these behaviors of his, and I was getting really embarrassed. And it's not because, he was like, oh, because they're your girlfriends, it's not because they're my girlfriends. It's because when I come to church, it's a religious thing. It's a religious thing. And if you were raised in church, you know that there's a certain behavior expected of you. You say you was raised in church, but you're not behaving as if you're raised in church. You know it is like against everything to go to church and fall asleep. You know that is the biggest no ever. There's certain pastors that stop church and tell them to wake you up because you're sleeping in church. Like, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I was in church and the pastor stopped church and tell him to wake him up. He was sleeping in church. And that is what a pastor is supposed to do, honestly. A leader of a congregation, if he sees you doing something, excuse me, that you're not supposed to be doing. So I'm just going to touch up with a little more foundation under my eyes just to clean up and give me a clean line. If he sees you doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, he's supposed to wake you up, or else he wouldn't be doing his leadership, leadership duties, which is to guide the sheep, and we are the sheep of God's pasture. So he wouldn't be doing what he was supposed to do as a pastor if you came to church and fall asleep and he don't tell somebody to wake you up. That's why they have ushers in church, and they usually tell you, if you're so sleepy that you don't believe you're gonna be able to stay up, you should probably go home, because church is not for sleeping. Church is for receiving God's word, and you sleeping might distract somebody from getting the holy message. They might be tired as well and watch you start sleeping and then feel tempted to go to sleep as well. You guys know, just like yawning, it's like contagious, you know what I mean? So I've never gone to church and gone to sleep myself. When I was younger and I was a kid, I behaved as a kid did. I may have went to sleep in church when I was a kid. And even as a kid, I understood that church wasn't a place to sleep. And I would make sure I go to sleep early, because I would tell my mom, "Mom, I'm not going to go to sleep in church. Pastor going to embarrass us if we go to sleep in church. And then he going to call us to the side and have a whole meeting with all the young people if one of us go to sleep in church." So I'm not gonna go to sleep because I don't want pastor to embarrass me, and I hate hearing pastor's mouth about something. So I'm not gonna go to sleep. So now that I've cleaned that up, can you guys see that I cleaned up? So I make sure that it's now that I've cleaned it up, I'm gonna set it again with my BH Cosmetics 6 contour palette. I'm using the white, this white right here. I don't want Pastor to come embarrass me, because he could do one or two things. When I was younger, one of my pastors, before he moved away to Virginia to preach at a Virginian church, he used to make you stand up by the pulpit where he was preaching if you fell asleep, and you wouldn't be able to go back and sit back down until he was finished his sermon. And even then, you would be like chained to him. He would have you with him all day, because it was a sign of the enemy trying to take you out the church and trying to distract you from God's word. So he would have you with him all day. You wouldn't be going nowhere. He would keep you attached to him all day, because he don't want the enemy to come and mislead you. So that was so now let's move on to blush. Yesterday I used this blush. I'm gonna use this blush. As I told you guys, I love this plum blush. It is everything. I love this plum brush. Also, my religion growing up, they don't believe in wearing any type of makeup, having tattoos. That is a big no-no. They don't believe in it. Um, I personally believe in what they're saying. I don't believe. I was raised not believing in it, and Honestly, I believe that the natural skin is just gorgeous the way it is. You know, they believe in using natural products on the skin. It doesn't have to be organic. It could just be natural. Like you could just take the coconut, grater it, and use those oils and use it on your skin. And that was the way I was raised. So this blush is gorgeous, guys. Do you guys see this blush? It's gorgeous. It's a deep plum color, and I love it. I love, 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 love. I don't know what love is, but I like it. I don't. I tell you guys a lot. I don't know what love is. So it was just certain stuff like that that he was doing, and I felt like I don't need anybody in my life that was breaking me down, and I felt like he was breaking me down. It got to the point where I started losing a lot of weight in the relationship, and people were like, what's wrong? You're supposed to be gaining weight, not losing weight. And he was gaining all the weight in the world, but I was losing the weight. I was losing weight like it was nobody's business because I was so unhappy with him. Um, Guys, I'm gonna bronze. I'm gonna bronze now. Bronze my face. I was so unhappy with him, and this is another type of contouring, guys, just with your bronzer. So this is my Bikini Contest 740 bronzer. And it got to the point where I was telling him, you either with God or against God. And he was like, F God. What has God done for me? I haven't been working in the past couple of months. If God was there, I would have been working. And I'm like, for money? You're cursing God for money? Like, you're serious? God has been there for everything. Like, he woke you up this morning. And that's where I really knew, like, okay, it was time for us to. There was no second, there was no doubt in my mind that it was time for us to part ways. Because once you start cursing God, then I don't know what you're going to do because God is everything. So with that, I was just like, okay, it's ready. It's time for us to part ways because I'm not going to be with anybody that is blasphemous against God. And he's doing so much. Look at me who had my apartment since I was 19. And no matter the struggle, he's brought me through it. Like, I'm not going to be with anybody that is blasphemous against God's name. So I'm just blending out my bronzer, which is my Wet n Wild 740 Bikini Contest bronzer. I'm going to let you guys see the color just in case because even if you don't remember the name, once you see the color, you guys see this vibrant golden color that it has. It's a little bit darker. Then they have three like this. And this is 740 Bikini Contest from Wet n Wild. And it lasts forever, guys. Like, I've been using it forever. So now I'm going to move on to my highlight. I'm using my number 7 my boots, number 7 skin illuminator in the color peach. And guys, this illuminator is everything. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be with somebody that curses God. You can curse somebody else, but don't curse God. I mean, I don't even curse other people. People do stuff to me, and it leaves a distaste in my mouth, but I don't curse them because the Bible says that I don't have the right to curse them because they're not fighting against me. They're fighting against the God that's in me. So for him to curse God, that was definitely a breaking point in our relationship because there's no way I'm going to be somebody that curses God at all. So this is my illuminator. It is gorgeous. So I'm just going to apply it to the highest points of my cheekbone. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And there's no way that the relationship could go anywhere if you're cursing God. He's the one that's gonna, direct our relationship. So that was like, okay, it's time to go. And then after him, my ex came back and he just said everything I wanted to hear. I was feeling um, so bad, down and out. And this ex had, so you guys can see, you guys see this? This is gorgeous. This illuminator is gorgeous. I am shining so brightly right now. Can you guys see this? You guys see this? Oh my goodness. I am shimmering. This illuminator is everything. And ooh, I'm putting it on the tip of my nose and on the top of my upper lip. And like that was definitely our breaking point completely. I didn't care what he did. I had taken him back so many times before, but I didn't care what he did. I did not try to take him back. And that's how I really know that God is there because, you know, this is LA Colors 3D Blush, and this is the color Sugar Plum, CBL 805 Sugar Plum. And I'm going to set my highlight with this highlighter right here, this highlighting color. And this brush I'm using is my Coastal Scents brush BRC N27. And I'm just going to set my illuminator with this powder illuminator. And this illuminator by itself as a powder, I was shocked that this illuminator was so gorgeous by itself as a powder. Like, it definitely shocked me. A little bit goes a long way. This color is gorgeous. Um, One thing I've realized, like, most of all the YouTubers on YouTube, they follow some type of religious belief. Like, I haven't seen a YouTuber that doesn't have a religious belief. Like, almost all of us follow some type of religious belief. And, honey, the sky could be falling. We gonna get down on our knees and pray. So that's a really good thing that I found on YouTube. You know, usually I'm the weird one because I follow some religious belief, and people be like, my parents have a religious belief, but I actually have one that I follow. I actually usually go to church every weekend, and people are like, oh my gosh, ever since I left my parents' house, I haven't went to church. I actually go to prayer service during the week, and I'm gonna start back up doing that because it's been God that has done all these amazing things in my life. Um, you know, whether I'm working or not, he's still there for me. He doesn't judge me or send me away because I've sinned. Other people, you do stuff to them, they stop talking to you, they don't deal with you anymore. Um, God doesn't do that, He's there just all the time, no matter what. And he's been protecting me that I could see very evidently. Um, Times when I got scared, he's like, you don't even have to be scared. I got you. And it's just such a good feeling. So now I'm grabbing my e.l.f. Midnight Eyeliner. e.l.f. Liquid Eyeliner in the color Midnight. And it's actually a deep blue, if you guys can see this color. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I just set my eyebrows with my Sonia Kashuk gel, brow gel. And this is so nice. This is a Jewish lady that makes this, so I really like using stuff from people of different faiths. Um, while my eyebrows are drying, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes with my NYC. with my NYC eyelash curler. You guys can see that I need to clean it up. I need to change my band too. It's cutting in half, and once it starts to cut in half, you gotta change that because bacteria could get down in there. So I'm curling my eyelashes, top and bottom, and I curl them out to the tip. I curl them out to the tip of them. My eyelashes are really long, and so I curl my eyelashes. I'm using this blue. So I did a thicker eyeliner than I did yesterday. And as you guys know, with my eyeliner, I bring it 3/4 up. Okay, so I'm done with my eyeliner. This is my right eye. This is my left eye. And there was just certain stuff where he didn't behave rationally. Like for instance, my father's having something, and he wants me just to bring him to go to my father's event, and I'm like, do you realize that this is not like I have a great, awesome relationship with my father. So if I'm going to one of his events, I'm not gonna take you, for you to meet him there for the first time. I'm gonna try to have you guys meet someplace else, off grid, so I can see his reaction towards you. How does he feel towards you? If he's having an event, for instance, if I was having an event, I wouldn't want somebody to bring somebody that they're gonna marry to meet me for the first time. It's like it's bullying. It's strategic bullying because I guess he thought that he's not gonna respond the way he wants to respond, or if he doesn't like him, he's not gonna show that he doesn't like him because he's hosting something, and I would never ever ever want somebody to do that to me. And the way I live my life, regardless that my family hasn't been in my life my entire life, like I always say, you can't detach from your family. That's your family forever, and no matter what happens, you just want to know that you played your hand at them well. Even if they did something to you wrong, you treated them the way you were supposed to treat them. And your conscience is clean that way. So I like this mascara. It's not clunky. It doesn't get hard. Um, hard and uncomfortable. So if you guys can see that, You guys are like, are your eyelashes fake? They're real. I swear to you guys, these are my real eyelashes. This is the right hand side of my makeup, guys. This is the front of my makeup. This is the left hand side of my makeup. Um, Now I'm just gonna be applying my whatever I'm wearing on my lips, and what I'm wearing on my lips is this Maybelline New York 040 Vision in Violet Color Elixir, and it is gorgeous, guys. When I say it is gorgeous, it is gorgeous. It just matches completely. So, guys, um, this is how the lipstick color and the eye coordinates. This is a different purple I'm wearing on my eye, but the lipstick evens it out with the pink. So then I just set all of this with my MAC translucent powder. Loose. This is the loose translucent powder. You have the two different translucent powders. I use the MAC Pepper and Prime finishing powder. This is the loose. I remember I went back to MAC. I'm new to MAC, and I was like, I need translucent powder, and he was like, loose, and I didn't know the difference because I didn't even know what I was using myself. So I was like, I don't know. um, I didn't know. So with a circular motion, I'm applying this. This is setting all my makeup in place, basically. That's what I'm doing, and I'm using the powder. So it goes on whitish looking, but don't worry about that. It dries completely translucent. It dries completely translucent. And yeah, it dries completely translucent. And then after I use that, I set all of this with my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. And yeah, that's the completed makeup look. I'm just and then you can just wait for it to dry before putting on your clothes, unless you have something that you're like zipping up, because this doesn't it doesn't mattify. This Fix Plus spray, you can use it on your regular face without any makeup on. It doesn't mattify your makeup. It doesn't change the consistency of your makeup at all. Whatever consistency makeup you're wearing, that's how it stays. That's why I like this. I have yet to try the NYX. So again, this is Bonnie from Manhattan, New York. I'm about to upload this makeup editorial. As you guys can see, it dried so fast. So this is the left side. I'm sorry, this is the right hand side of my makeup look. This is the front of my makeup look. This is the left hand side of my makeup look. This is me looking down to the left. down to the right, up to the right, up to the left. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. So I zoomed in a little bit, and this is the completed makeup look, guys, from the front, left, right hand side, the front again. So I hope you guys enjoy this editorial. Thumbs up this video, share it, like it. Leave your video request in the comment section below. Be blessed. As I'll do the same. Again, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Leave me a video request in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for making my dream possible. You guys have been so amazing. You guys have made this is just a little girl's dream to be on a social media channel and have thousands of people watch it and like it, excuse me guys, and want to see her content. You know, this is just a little girl's dream. I've always dreamed of my name being in bright flashing lights. I believe that I am a Barbie. Guys, you guys make this come true, this dream come true for me. Thank you so, so, so much. If any of my, any, I just want to thank you guys so much. Again, this is Bonnie from Manhattan, New York. Thumbs up this video, share it, like it, leave your video request. I forgot to show you guys my manicure and pedicure that I did this week myself. So this is how it looks. I believe I did it on like Wednesday, and this is how it looks. Um, Hope you guys enjoy this editorial. Again, this is Bonnie from Manhattan, New York. Be blessed as I do the same. Muah.